Hello and welcome to another episode of Apex Scrapyard. And in the last episode, we managed to do it. We got enough frames that we can finally make our moisture evaporator. Gotta head on into the base and check out our little high quality goodies bucket. It's construction frames! Yes! That took a while. We're 16 episodes in. I'm finally making my moisture evaporator. So I have those 5, and so far, out of everything that I've made here, I made you. So that's 1. So in total 6. And then these 3 guys up here. So 7, 8, 9. It's 9 frames that I've found over the entirety of the playthrough so far. So less than a frame per episode.
Meteor storm inbound.
Oh, why thank you. I'm happy that there's a meteor storm incoming. But we need to take our valuable frames here, and then also we need to put on a evaporator onto our bar and pull out materials for it. Wait, did I have that? Was that? I might have had something else on my bar. I think I did. There we go. Cannot withdraw 5 construction frames. That's okay. I have them in my inventory. So we can build our evaporator. Now, I'm contemplating where this needs to sit. Is this something that needs to be exposed to the air? I'm just looking up at the top right there, all the information about it. I don't think so. I think it just builds it slowly, naturally itself. So I'm kind of tempted just to stick it in a corner back here. Like, maybe just right here in the corner. Because we just need this thing to be operating all day. All day, every day. And feeding its glorious ice back into the system, which will then be fed back into a O2H2 generator and then into a cargo, hydrogen cargo. So let's think. I think I might do a little bit of rearranging and put it in the corner back here. So let me just move all this stuff out of the way real quick. And all cleaned up. So I'm thinking we get rid of this connector.
Inventory full.
Yes, we're inventory full, but that's okay. And we plop this bad boy right down here. Now, it does have upgrade ports. Oh, I've seen upgrade modules around the map, but I ground them down. We might have to look. If we do run into them, we might have to look for them, and we might have to move this again. But we can place it here, and we can build it. The most important thing is that it's built, and that it's working. Yes. So this doesn't matter where it is. It just matters that it has atmosphere, and it is currently functioning. And we're now getting a very slow trickle of infinite ice. And what we should be able to do from here is, I wonder, is that the best orientation for it? Because I'm thinking, I don't have any large grid H2O2s, and I can't really build an H2O2 right now. However, I do have a couple small grid ones floating around here. There's one attached over here, and there's one attached on here. I could, in the meantime, just have this producing ice, because it's gonna take infinite time to get to 1,000 liters before I have to worry about it. Because then I can just take the ice out, and then I can just throw the ice in here, Should just be able to deposit it. Yeah, because it's the only thing that's accessible there. And then this just processes the ice. So, I mean, that's something. Alternatively, we've got advanced rotor. Or potentially, you could also use a hinge as well. And we can advance rotor trick into a small grid to then put a tank directly on this. And we could start filling tanks, and it would just slowly fill up the tank over time. Which I think would probably be the better option. So, yeah. This vehicle still needs to be able to get parked and plugged in, but I can do that more over into this area. Use this blank piece of wall. And I can use this section here to build out my little system. So, let's do some conveyors and stuff first. And let's get this set up. So we're going to go into advanced rotor. Then from there, we'll go a medium head, which will give us a small grid thing. We are going to rotor lock this immediately, so we don't have to worry about it. And I think I'm going to do a conveyor junction on here, because then I can do the tank off of this end and an O2H2 generator right on this face, on the close side. And bada bada bing, we have a tank, and it is now plugged in. It is empty, but now we just need to excise this O2H2 gen. You do not need to be on that truck anymore. You are going right here. Easy peasy. And I think just need to make sure that's topped up. And it should be a nice closed system now. From that evaporator, the ice is being immediately pulled out into the H2O2 generator. And you can see here, it is slowly going down. So it's not, the one evaporator isn't enough to keep up with the one O2H2 generator constantly. However, if I take that out, you can see it'll get a little bit, and it'll use it up. And then it'll get a little bit, and it'll use it up. Nice. And we can just look at our tank now. And we're filling! And we have a constant fill in 1 day, 17 hours. So that is a day and 17 hours of real time. Not just, you know, oh, 1 day in the game is just a couple hours, right? No. Oh, that's going to take a long time to fill. I am probably just going to have to leave my game running at one point. Because I ain't waiting for that. Normally. But unknown signal is an excellent little diversion right now. It's quite close. I might even just run for that one. Because we are, again, out of food. We are always out of food, it seems. Oh, wait, exposure. Right. I keep forgetting exposure is a thing in this planet. I can't just run off into the desert. You want to go? Is that why you're jiggling around? Okay, fine. We'll take you out. Scraping my solar panel as I go out the door. Scrape, 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 scrape. And we're out. Oh, it's one of those. I hate these ones. They're just trying to run away from you. It's like, no, you can get stuck on my frickin' tires. Thankfully. Hey, Synthof, nice. Thankfully, once you press the button, they stop moving. These things are so annoying when they start running away from you. Ah, well. Head on back to base and eat our synth loaf. Fill value 54%. Hell yeah. Alright. And I think I might keep this vehicle outside and parked nearby so that I have an easy access to a bit of oxygen. So I can be out here and working on a spaceship. So let's leave you there and get our bar cleared off and get a platform into the ground to give me some solar protection so I don't die from exposure. There we go. Now I got a place to work. I got my shade. So, we have to think about what we want to do for our escape craft. I think we just organize our pile of junk here is the first thing. Because we have lots of good stuff. We got plenty of thrusters. We need to get some gyroscopes. And some cargo. And then see what bits and bobs we still need to gather. And make a shopping list for when we go out and check out the various abandoned settlements out there. We also have to remember that anything we've gathered so far, we could scavenge. So, like, I do have 4 more thrusters on here, and 2 more batteries, and 3 more gyros. I could completely scavenge this ship here, and that would be okay in order to build our escape missile. So I have to remember that it's just like not just what I'm laying out here, but also all my other bits and bobs wherever they are. And I probably want to take a drill. I do have it. If I can attach it to my ship that I'm going to take, then when I get into orbit, and if I find some ice in orbit, then I can mine it, and I'll have my 2 O2H2s, this one and the one that's on the evaporator inside. They can be my, like, hydrogen power regeneration, with this drill being the very critical component there. Alright, we gotta go grab that unknown signal, but I just got everything organized. So let's go through my entire pile of scavenging. We have in total 4, plus another 4 on this guy, 8 atmospheric thrusters, small ones. Then we have, let's see, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. There's one back there. We have a dozen of these little D-shaped ones. So, okay, maybe a little bit of extra atmospheric power can be gleamed from those. And then we have tons of large thrust. What do we have? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I'm not using this many. I'm at most using like 3 or 4. I'm thinking I'm going to do... I mean, this is a very classic design for me, but it would be like... How can I describe it? We would have a one solid center body, and then there would be like a little nacelle off on each side, and then the front and the back of each nacelle would have a large thruster. Very much... what was that? The Firebird? Very much Firebird, I'm thinking. I can rebuild that. So, I don't need that many of these large thrusters, but it's always good to have spares. And we have, in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little guys. So these will be for my side to side and my up and, well, Maybe not up and down. Because I'm thinking if I have like left and right, I have 2 there, and then like up and down, 2 on each direction, and then the big guys are going to be forward and back. That covers my space motion, right? I don't have to worry about, not having any thrust in one direction in space with this setup. So I actually have enough of these things. Now, 2 will not be enough for this thing to, like, belly land or something like that. I could use all 8 of the atmospherics pointing downwards as a way for this thing to come in and fly in Atmo without burning through all of its hydrogen. And then when I need to go for orbit, I am hovering with my belly Atmos, and then I just pitch up and hit the 2 large thrusters. I think that's how we'll get into orbit. Potentially, though, I also do have enough of these large thrusters that I could use one of them on the belly and allow that to be my lifting thrust. But I think having the Atmos is going to be very useful, so I don't burn through all of my hydrogen super quick. Just 2 gyros, but that is my 2 spare gyros. I do have a gyro on this guy. There is 3 or 4 on him. There's a couple on the semi-truck. I can scavenge at least half a dozen gyros for this thing, so it'll have plenty of power. We do have a pair of these vents so that I will be able to... oh, yeah, that is a thing. An oxy tank would be a really good idea to have on this thing, because I'm not going to have another good source of ice when I'm up in orbit. So my O2H2 generators will hopefully have some ice in them, but I don't want to be that if I run out of ice, I'm dead, right? So I need at least 1 more construction frame to make a tank of some kind. Either a full-size oxy tank here, which, trying to look at its information here, capacity 50,000 liters, or just 3,000 liters for one of the small oxy tanks. One of the relatively new ones. Which I think might be all we need. Because we're just going to be sipping on oxygen while we're up in our ship, and it's just to get us to the point where we find some ice on an asteroid, which shouldn't be that terribly hard. So we'll still need to do a little more scavenging, a little more searching. Then we got 2 more batteries, one at 10 out of 20 and one at 14 out of 20. So basically another 16 power cells. And if I am not mistaken, we have more than that. Check on our thing. We have 26. We have 10 spare, even past the requirements we need to repair those 2 batteries. And then even so, on top of that, there's 2 batteries here on this thing that we can scavenge if we want. So we have plenty of battery power to be had. And then our drill, which we will take. I'm not sure where we're going to use it, but we will take it. That's for sure. And then, of course, over in the cargo land, we've got 4 mediums. We've also got a spare modular. And then this thing's got its 3 modulars, which we could easily take them all off of there. Set this thing back to just being the, this little bit of the rover is sort of the quote-unquote rover part, and the rest of this big thing is the excess cargo part. We should head over that unknown signal here soon. But yeah, other things like we are 100% taking the algae. We need to, otherwise we're going to freaking starve up there. We're going to be taking the 2 O2H2 generators. We're going to take one of the survival kits, probably that one. Potentially the materials for both of them, but we do have spare materials inside. Yeah, we actually have pretty much everything we need in order to get this escape planned out and functioning. We just need like maybe 1 or 2 more frames to build up the last bits and bobs that we're not gonna be able to scavenge. But otherwise, I think we're just in the waiting game. We'll repair the base as much as we can, and we'll figure out a few other cool things to do, but our evaporators are just making us fuel now. We just have to wait. That's awesome. And I cannot remember if this settlement right here is one that I visited. I might as well visit it while I'm doing this unknown signal. It's right there. Food paste! Oh, that's wonderful. I like food paste. Yeah, I've totally been here. There's a ramp. There's a ramp I built in order to get up and get its wind turbine. There would have been one there. We can always double check, because I believe, and I think this is correct, people have been yelling at me that I'm missing solar panels. So, okay, I see them now. You don't have to yell at me so much. I'll get them, for God's sakes. There isn't even solar cells in this thing. I mean, I can detach it. I can probably take it home here, but there's no solar cells. What the hell am I supposed to do? I can't build solar cells. Can I? No. The survival kit can't do any building, right? Yeah, it's just a paint gun. So, I mean, yeah, there's a solar panel there, but what the heck am I supposed to do with it? Yeah, well, we'll just shove this back in here. I have... Oh, God. I shoved inside myself. Another settlement over there. Might as well check it out. I'm already out here. But it's just like... What am I supposed to do with that solar panel? I got no cells, damn it. Well, that settlement is on the mountain, so I can't go to that one. Is that... There is something there. At the base of the mountain. I see it. I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. Oi! It's another wind turbine base. Nice. Do I have this marked? I have a few wind turbines marked already. Nope, that's one over there and over there. Yep, this is a new one. This is a new one. A little shed. Hello? Thruster. I'll take that. Always will take a little thruster. But we've got... Your ladder's broken, damn it. There we go. Can I reach the top bit? There we go. Oh. Another toilet up here. Why do you got to get double toilets, man? Well, you have a bed. Unfortunately, nothing in the bed. Oh. Wall fell out. But, cool little base. Guess I'll mark out on the other wind turbine. It's not like I actually need to, get this new wind turbine, though. I have enough base. Alright. That's that. Is something else here along the edge of the mountain? We've been to that. Yeah, we've been there before. I think that's where I got the fuel truck. I think those things are spawning deep in the mountains there. I don't think it's worth my time right now, so let's just head on home. However, we may want to take a moment here, and while we are both empty cargo containers and beside a big steel object, do some grinding to hopefully finish my base. Beautiful meteor storm. Should be good for now. When we get there, we got a few thousand steel plate from that. Alright, that'll go a long way to getting that roof done on the house. Let's get home and sort of recap what our next steps are with this adventure. Pull on in here, back to where it was, and grab some of that steel plate. I want to see if I can get the roof done just now. Oh no, maybe I can. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24? 100 in total? I might just have enough right on me, because there's already some in there. And there is still 2,100. So I might just be able to finish my roof. Oh, it's actually going to seal. And then there's a little bit more I need to do, because they're not all built up to 400. You could hear it. I heard it. It was going when I opened the door. It's sealing. Oh, yes. Okay. We gotta make sure everything's topped up to full. This one is just off, but that's fine. Oh, that's more than fine. We did it. We did it. And we also get some algae out of the mix here. I'll get the signal later. Or on a second, skip it. And we can put the algae in here. But as we're in our base, we're pressurizing, baby. Look at that pressurization going up. Oxygen. 89, 90, 95. We are pressurized. High O2. Yes! Oh. For the first time in this series. Also, my vehicle is very weird right now. But for the first time in this series, we have a pressurized environment. You are fine. You've got a high battery. You don't need to be plugged in right now. This is awesome. And you're still running, I'm assuming. Let's check the evaporator. Yeah, you can still see the ice popping in and going to the O2 generator. Oh, yes! And that means this tank is slowly trickling full. Ever so slowly. I'm so excited! We've made so much progress this episode. And what I will need to do is probably install a panel over here. If I have the steel plate for it, is a very good question. I do. Will that seal it? I want this area to decompress. And then I'll check the vent Room pressure 99.8. Yeah, that area is still pressurized on the other side. Okay, good. So I can come and go, and then that'll close. Then this room will be low oxygen. And then when I go into this room, that will top up. Because it'll sort of siphon off of the other room. Oh, yeah, that'll work. I could probably add like a full airlock, but I don't really need to. Oh. Oh, I feel like I've made so much progress this episode. Like, really, I just sort of placed a couple things and, you know, ground down a little steel plate and built a roof. But it feels good. It's kind of like, I mean, guys, ever done any renos or anything like that? And you, like, do all the work prepping the walls and prepping the floor. And you do all this, like, sanding and all that stuff. And you're ready. And it doesn't look like you've done a lot, but you've just spent days preparing. And then you put down the flooring, paint the walls, and then the entire room looks different. But even though it was like multiple days of prep, and then the one day of do everything quick, because you've prepped enough and it's good. Oh, that's what it felt like today. What I want to do is clean this up. I want this to be pretty. So, what color? You're blue because of ice. No, that blue is good. And then you'll be yellow for conveyorage. And then red because you're explosive. And green because you're creating the stuff for me. And now it's all colorful and pretty. It's a bit too much. A bit too many colors, but I don't care. Everything else is rusty in here. We need a little bit of color in our lives. But yeah, that's working away. It's making hydrogen. That's going to take a long time. We do also have the hydrogen that is in this tank, which we can siphon over there. Another 24.4%. So I could set up a system to, you know, put a conveyorage down so I can connect up to this and then connect and then zoop, transfer into here. So I can have this be my main hydrogen storage. But that is functioning, and it just needs to sit there and function for a few days. And out here in the dock, we have a good amount of scavenging, a good amount of stuff that we'll be able to use to build up our rocket ship. I'm going to have to, probably in the next episode, yeah. Next episode, we will start designing the rocket. We'll lay it out and start fitting stuff to it, which is going to be a very interesting building process because I'm going to have to do a lot of the weld pads and such to get all this stuff on, which is fun. I like building that way. It's a lot more interactive and a lot more interesting to do. We'll get it up, we'll get it designed, we'll get sort of the conveyor structure figured out first. Then we'll start attaching all of the little bits and bobs and slotting in batteries and stuff like that. Because we have to be very certain of where things are going to go. Because I don't want to detach and reattach and do that over and over again, because that's going to get really freaking annoying. But we'll get that organized. And then we'll have to do a couple more sorties, couple more explorations, because we're going to need at least one more frame for an oxygen tank, whatever it would be, unless we can find an oxygen tank out there. And, you know, plug in all the antennas and aura detectors and vent controllers and get everything all programmed on the thing. And then at the very end, take apart my algae tower, take apart bits and bobs of the rovers, sacrifice all their pieces, build up the final rocket, transfer the fuel, blast off, and get out of this godforsaken planet. But I think we're on track. I think we're on track for about like 20 episodes to finish off the series. This is episode 16. So yeah, I could definitely see 20 or low 20s be our escape. We're going to do it. But that is going to be it for now. It's nighttime. Time to head on back into bed. And fortunately, this time, I can open this door for a bit, and that will pressurize this room. And then I can go to bed in a nice, pressurized, oxygen-rich room where I don't have to get up every few hours and fill my oxygen tank like I have been for this entire series. Can you imagine having to do that while you're sleeping? You finally crawl into bed, you get some sleep, and then you hear the warning, low oxygen, beep, 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 beep. Warning, low oxygen, beep, 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 beep. You have to get up, and you have to go to the thing, you have to plug in your suit and fill it back up, you have to go back to sleep, and then the first night where you can just sleep until you wake up naturally, how amazing is that? Oh. Yes. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.